Welcome back, guys. We're at Shawbrooks HQ. This time I'm here with Dan Standing, who's been in the organization for a long time. And we're here to actually delve into one fact, trying to work out which strategy is best and determine which one you guys should be looking at. Now, before we go into this, there's a lot of rent-to-rents, flips, SAs, deal sourcing, HMOs, and commercial residential that's mentioned on social media. But the idea today is to actually determine what the bank actually thinks of each of these strategies. So, firstly, Dan, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thanks for having us again.
Good to see you again.
Now, rent-to-rents. What's Shawbrooks' perspective?
Yeah, I think rent-to-rent is fine. It's one of those things we see quite a bit. It's not unusual for us to get those across the line. It's something that few people do. Probably not our most popular stuff that we see.
Now, if you were a borrower, if you're a borrower and you basically rented your property to someone who rented it back out, and it's on a lease agreement, would that be something that Shawbrook would work with?
We can look at it. I mean, when you've got a lease in between us and the tenant, I suppose, it's understanding what that lease holds and what agreement that tenant then has with the person who has a lease with us. So as long as we can get comfortable with, we can get vacant possession and things like that, then yes, it's something we can consider.
So if it was something like a 5-year lease, I'm guessing that will probably have a negative impact on a residential home?
Not technically a negative impact. Some people, like some investors, will like that fact that they've got that lease in place for 5 years. From a bank's point of view, say it's just understanding the lease. We've seen it before where companies, where there's big industrial sites, or in Sheffield by the steel factories, for example, where they use it for their staff.
And does it have an impact when, obviously, if you're a leaseholder and then you've got a freeholder in place and then a lender as well, does that overcomplicate things?
It can do. If you've got a lease property, you understand what the freeholder has in terms of restrictions and what you can and can't do with the property.
Now, the next one is HMOs. For those that don't know, that's basically houses of multiple occupation. It's something that we've been specializing in since 2010. And it's probably one of the reasons we started using you guys, because we were
100%.
looking for a lender that would actually work with developers such as ourselves in that arena. So what's your opinions on HMOs as a strategy?
I think HMOs is something that we specialise in. We've built part of our business around it over the last 13 years. We find they've performed really strongly over the last few years because you've got that multiple income stream, things like that. So if you've got a 6-bed, you've got 6 tenants, one moves out, doesn't tend to impact your ability to pay the mortgage and things like that. So it's an area that we like.
The next one is flips. So basically this is where someone purchases a property, uses a short-term loan, does some work, adds some value, and then sells it on.
Yeah, again, we've got the bridging product that's ideal for this, where people want to come in, I call it like homes under the hammer, bit of a tartan turn, new liquor paint, new bathroom, new kitchen, and then they recycle the cash by selling, or an ideal world from Shawbrook's point of view, putting on a term loan.
Yeah, no, definitely. The next one is probably something that's grown in popularity, especially over the last 5 years, serviced accommodation, also known as SA. What's your views on it? Is this something that Shawbrook lend on, and is there like a commercial valuation that you get with a successful SA?
Now, service accommodation is a bit of a tricky one from our point of view. There isn't increased value from what I would see, because it's only service accommodation for that period of time. If that agreement or whatever, how you set out, fell through, you're left with bricks and mortar, flats, whatever it may be. So we have considered them on occasions, but it's a tough one.
One of our other favourite strategies, commercial to residential. So what's Shawbrook's views on this, and have you seen the popularity of this increase with the changes in planning laws?
Yeah, I think, again, we've got the bridging product that allows you to change your commercial to resi. We've probably seen more of these over the last few years with the planning changes, you say, but also the opportunity with the high street. Some of the commercial, certain areas in the country aren't performing as well. There's more opportunity to buy those and convert them to resi, and as we know, there's a lack of resi stock.
No, definitely. And with the increase in the base rate, have you seen more people move to commercial to residential, where you can create multiple units and potentially reach that rental calculation and refinance at a higher percentage loan to value?
Yeah, that we've definitely seen more commercial, semi-commercial deals over the last couple of years with the changes since, was it August 2022 now? So it's definitely where we see grow. It's just a good opportunity for people to invest and increase their income.
And the final strategy out there is deal sourcing. Now, I'm guessing it's not one that you guys lend on, but what's your views and
So deal sourcing, I have to ask a question, as in what, just going there and...
Yeah, so deal sourcing it's not something that we sort of specialize in. We find a deal for a client and then we'll work on them. So we offer more of a turnkey. But what we see on social media is people finding a deal, packaging it up, and just saying, oh, I've got this here, and if you buy it for example, £85,000, you spend £15,000, it's worth 135, and if you sell it, you can get a potential profit of X.
Yeah.
And that's seen as an easier strategy to enter property without having to have a vast amount of capital.
Yeah, I think that there's lots of people out there that will try and do that sort of thing for investors, because I suppose an investor sees it as an easy opportunity. The people sourcing the deal then will see it as easy money or a good strategy for them. I think from our point of view, you want to get behind the customer first and foremost. That's what the people lending the money to is the one we get behind. So the deal sourcer sort of falls away in a lot of aspects, which is why if you're going to do that sort of thing or use people like that, you want to get the right people behind you, like you guys.
No, definitely. No. Well, no, thanks a lot for making time and answering those questions there. We've actually created our own community on Score. It's a new app that's out there. We're going to be uploading loads of free resources, and it's a way of you guys communicating with other investors and developers out there. Now, if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and we hope to see you on the next video.